Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of A Drink with
Meri
and Mina. Well, anyway, you had the idea of this episode, so go on then. Tell them what
bear
you
with
wanted.
me. Bear with me 2 seconds.
Anyway, we've got hummus. Oh my god, olives. Spain ma. Oopsie.
She did not do that.
Spain ma olives khada. Like bloody olive trees everywhere, man. But I still love olives.
I love
This is
olives
stuffed
too.
olives.
These are stuffed ones.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I've only had what's now? It's about 2:30 in the afternoon. I've only had like 1 cup of tea.
Okay,
So I'm
we've got
super
coffee.
hungry. as
Oh,
well.
we're drinking
Black
coffee, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our drink with Meri Mina. Anyways, so the topic of today is sensitivity.
Mm-hmm.
Just people are getting too sensitive left, right, and center lately. As we were talking about, Mina, this emotional roller coaster, the highs and lows and everything she's going through. Obviously, she's been engaged bakare, so it's just a new feeling, I know, a lot to process. But that's not the point here. The point is everyone's just getting too sentimental lately, just affected by anything. Like breast.
Snowflaking ones, aren't they?
Is it?
Yeah, I think the term is, you know, when they say it's like when people make a huge issue out of a small thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, such a snowflake.
Oh, so it's like small issue could like
Yeah,
make a big fuss. Okay, I get it. I think Nepal
You know how
like
people-
types.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how to give an example. But anyway, it's just being very super emotionally sensitive.
Super emotionally sensitive. Sometimes, I guess sensitivity is subjective as well, right? To you, it might be kinawayatma, but to them, that might be like it's a really big deal.
Yeah.
Type going on. But anyhow, the topic came about when one of our friends, mutual friends, I guess, Samridai, who was in our podcast, he sent me the link to this YouTube stand-up comedy, and I'm a huge fan of stand-up comedy. Some people do consider I should do it, but I could never, right? But
With practice, you could.
I
You
feel
could.
like
I
could.
think
Maybe
you'll be
like
a
friends and family,
brilliant one.
right? Yeah, but
Yeah.
anyway, long story short, as I'm obsessed with Newari culture, as I was partially grown up into Newari culture, and this automatically title now is like, okay, fucking done. I just know I'm gonna laugh my way through, and your mancha just goes on about. I sent you the video, so if you're in Nepal,
Sorry, I haven't watched it. Yeah.
Okay, anyways, I'll
Yeah.
give you the context. So if you're in Nepal, you've probably seen this video. It just basically went viral because this man got jailed. So this man got jailed for basically defaming, disrespecting the Newari culture.
Defaming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's hilarious because if you look at top comedians who obviously come from people of colored background, okay, let's be honest, we make the funniest jokes, because the jokes are funny because it hurts, because it's true, okay, and it's fucking hilarious because it's stereotypical and it's true at the end of the day. So there's a guy called Gabriel. He's very fat, like he's fat, he's Mexican,
Fluffy.
he just makes fun of him being fat, Mexican culture, like he bashes it, like literally bashes, like very harshly. Mexican Americans are like, he didn't get jailed. The point is, it's just so funny. Newari culture, like defame got it, and
Is the comedian Nepali? Newari.
the people who filed is Newari. He's not a Newari. He's not from Newari. I think he's Chetri. But I think they got offended. Understandable. But he's like, he grew up with a lot of Newas and etc. Okay? I mean, Bash got it, so I don't think it's funny. I think he's just stating the facts. He's stating facts like bail song or beg or so. Never go, like when they have to go, they give money, or that's like just basic facts, okay?
Yeah.
And I think it's fucking hilarious, right? And the audience are laughing their head off as well. But he got jailed on the matter of fact of he's got like thousands of views. Okay? When I
Wow.
watched it, 5.2k got the views. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And 140 people signed a petition and complained. That's why he was jailed.
140.
Oh,
Okay, 140k.
140.
The number itself is snowflake.
I know. I just love Nepal constitution. Like, it's just hilarious. And then he had to apparently pay. I don't know if he paid or not, but according to Kathmandu Post, say he either had to pay 10k and then just bail himself out that go, or he had to spend jail. So he actually went to jail because I know, and he apologized for the whole scene. Okay, in my opinion. Maybe the fact that he was Chetri, that's why I understand that sentiment. But I think it's hilarious. Like, it was just funny.
I wonder if a Newari had done the same jokes,
If they would take
would
it
they have
differently.
made it such a issue? I mean, I guess the more traditional, the more conservative part of the or people of the community would have taken an issue to it. John, I think it would have been even worse because they're like, oh, you're bashing your own culture.
Yeah.
Like, you're ashamed to the community. There's a bante hola.
They're-
But in this day and age, just because somebody's made fun of your culture doesn't mean your culture is a joke. Hala.
Exactly.
For you, it's gonna be just as important. Doesn't matter what anybody else says. If you were to react and define your culture according to what everybody else says, then how much faith do you have in your own culture? How much confidence do you have in your own culture?
Let's be honest, us as Gurkha kids surviving in the UK, if we didn't have so much faith in our culture and where we come from, we wouldn't be here or this complain and Natalia every single thing. So
Exactly.
there are so many Goras they defame us. There are so many Goras that say racist comments to us, and yet we're just like
We walk through it with our head held high.
Fuck you, bitch. Our grandparents served your queen, did you?
Exactly.
coming to it, no?
Like, I think comedy scene must say, yeah, it's almost like, with comedians, where is the line to being funny and being offensive type? Okay, I mean, some comedians do cross the line, but I don't think they mean it outside their sketch. Okay?
It's just a part of it. Like Ali Wongman, she's one of the famous comedians, the pregnant one. If you all know, I know. She was pregnant. She was doing comedy acts, stage on and on and on and on. She would make jokes about pregnant women, right? And the husbands of pregnant women. Okay, so technically, according to these people who's like complained about him being in the jail or whatnot, she shouldn't be able to say anything about the husbands or the other hand neither, because usko point of story ananta. So she's technically defaming how the husbands feel. Husband go feeling like compromise got it, jeopardize got it. That's just all of the things added to that neither. So what? As a comedian, you're only allowed to say what you can
Safe
say.
jokes. Safe.
Yeah. And then the jokes he said came from a Newari background because all of his friends were Newari. He probably delivered it in front of his friends before coming out at the group on one encouragement got. So he was like, you know what, fuck it. So if 5.2 whatever thousand people are liking this video, exercise got a problem, bro. Like,
Malda, I haven't really watched the video. I would love to watch this video actually.
it's so funny. It's actually so funny. And there's so many Newari people in the comments saying, I am Newar, I'm from Kathmandu, my ancestors were all from Newar and I have no problem. It's just hilarious. You delivered it very well. So it's just about being open and accepting.
40 manseko their insecurity has come out. Okay? They feel it is their duty to protect. I was like, who gave you the duty to protect? Who?
It's like us Nepali saying, Haryo bon Nepal ko dhan, mero Nepal, mero pran, mero gaurav.
While living abroad.
To be fair, I have met quite a few people who are born and bred here, but they want to go to Nepal and do things now because now they've seen things in hindsight. Yeah. Now they're educated, they're well traveled and everything. Okay? I know. Fair enough. But if you're really more Nepal, more got to why are you here?
Yeah. Orko, recently, before we went on our holiday, we went to go see our first live comedy, okay? And it was Veer Das.
Yes.
Oh my
I
god.
wanted to see him as well, not gonna lie.
That guy, I need to put this down. That guy and the whole 1.5 hour was super, yeah. The delivery, the jokes, everything was on point, okay? There was no like one joke being dragged along. There was no such thing, okay? I loved everything. And you know how how much of a critique I am. Like I have high expectations. That I was laughing until you get this throaty sound from your throat. Yeah, this okay? And one of the things he pointed out, like he has so many messages, like very strong real fact messages in his jokes, okay? And one of the things he was saying was that, which I fucking agree, na? He said they're nationalists and they're patriotists. Patriots. What the hell?
Patriots.
So the whole background is because Veer Das, I don't know whether you know or not, Veer Das had similar incident happened to him, Nita. So he did a video about To India. And if you go watch it on the YouTube, To India is about, I live in one India where it's about the
vast class division.
Class division. It's about where he basically says, I live in an India where women are worshipped as goddesses, but in the night we gang rape them. Stuff like that. And so much hypocrisy, so much divide of the Indian, community. And everything he says is,
Facts,
to the point.
yeah.
And every Indian in the audience is like clapping and they're agreeing with it. But that 10-minute video went viral. And he got cancelled so badly, like death threats. When he was flying back to India after that video went viral, when he was flying back to India, he was scared what was going to happen to him at the airport. Okay? He was that bad. And not only him, but his family, everyone was receiving death threats. He got sponsorships cancelled. Basically, his career was almost over. Okay?
Yeah.
And he was fighting with his lawyers, and he was like, doing everything in his about 8 months. 8 months, yeah, living in a hell. 8 months. And then in the end, what he said saved him was every complaint that went into the police were like, this is not serious enough, so they threw it out. Okay, thousands and thousands of complaints at so many police stations around the country. The police were like, no, you're making a big deal out of this. Whatever he says, we agree with. So he does attribute the police a lot about him not getting basically effed up. Yeah. So he wasn't arrested or anything, but the police supported him quite well. And his life was almost, his career was almost ruined. All those years of building it up, it was almost ruined. And now he's starting to do tours, and he's got Netflix deals, and he's got everything. And he was saying the same thing. They're nationalists and they're patriots. Patriots are just they love their country. They are just nationalists are the ones who shout in the loudest voice that they are patriots, but
they won't
in
do
the
anything.
end they don't know much for the country.
They won't do anything. I think there was this sort of like, so we caught up with my sister girlfriend on a sort of like starters wine kage.
Yeah.
We had a nice catch up, and then there she had recently gone to Nepal, and then she was just like meeting new people, living abroad. When you go to Nepal, you're literally suddenly you're just certainly that item. The way they look at you is different. So she was basically told by one of these people that she was in the dinner table with that you all are NRNs, like they just labeled her off like that. It's okay. Non-residential Nepalese or NRNs, and if you're looking at technically, yeah, I agree to that, but she didn't agree. She didn't. I see her point of view as well, because she was like, I'm not NRNs. the reason why I'm in the UK, why I was born in the UK, was because of my forefathers and my fathers who fought for the Queen. So do not label me as NRN. I'm a Gurkha kid, and I'll always be a Gurkha kid. So she believes there should be a different category for this. Okay, so basically she didn't feel comfortable being entitled as the same way, because una NRN bhanne bittikai, the way the person was trying to signify was
in a bad way.
In a bad way. To your country, you know, you're probably a nationalist type. Okay, do you know, like you're just without a book there, so you're not going to do anything in terms of like that. And she was not taking any shit of it, and which mad respect to her for standing up yesterday in a public space where it was just all male and then only a few females. You know?
Yeah. Any person, any Nepali that's living in Nepal who has a problem with NRNs and discriminate NRNs when they are in the Nepal, one, be secure in who you are. So when you're secure in who you are, you don't need to be bad towards
pointing
anybody
fingers
else.
towards anyone else.
Two, I'm sure there's like a jealousy layer underneath it.
Yeah, because you made it. They
yeah,
didn't.
Exactly. And yeah, we were born and bred in Nepal, and then I moved to the UK when I was 18. So technically an adult, you know. And don't blame me because I moved here because of my parents moved here, and I don't want to move back to Nepal because whatever I'm doing here. This is my life now. This is my opportunity. Mero opportunity yahi cha. Mero as a woman, मेरो rights are protected. I feel safer here. I feel more protected here.
100%.
So obviously, I will do what's good for me. And that doesn't mean I don't love my country.
Exactly.
When earthquakes happen, when things happen, we donate from here. We do what we can from here. If I didn't love my country, nobody would come and say, oh, you're living abroad, you're doing nothing for the country. Nobody is going to point fingers at me if I don't do anything. But I do it because I want to. And nobody's going to come and say, oh, well done, if I do something for the country.
And another thing I like to point out, because you haven't been in Nepal for a long time, right?
Yeah.
So hasn't my cousin. Yeah. Everyone's just been questioning them. Nepal go to say, are you a more Nepalese if you go Nepal and you're less Nepalese if you don't? Like, let's make that clear. Like, what's the ratio? Koti choti Nepal goyo bhane चाहिँ I'm more Nepalese, money made this maya garchu re. Like, who's giving me the credit for that?
Let me give you an example. Take two NRNs. One who goes to Nepal every year, has fun, holidays, friends and family भेट्छ, थमेल जान्छ, clubbing गर्छ, and there's another who hasn't visited Nepal in 15 years but has donated and is supporting so many projects back home.
Or supporting a child.
Yeah, or supporting a child, sponsoring a child back home. Who would you consider more Nepali? Like, it doesn't make sense.
It's ridiculous. It's actually laughable. The whole situation is actually very laughable. It's just, once you go Nepal frequently, Nepal ko hare ban dhan here पछि चाहिँ you're so Nepalese are. Like, let's be honest, I pretty much grew up in Nepal, especially Kathmandu. Kathmandu is not a city for the weak. It is not. Like, if you're alikoti pani insecure, alikoti pani care, you're like, you're bashed, you're ended, bro. It's not. It's literally a rat race. It's basically London of Nepal. And अनि हो त्यस्तो प्लेसमा गएर, if you're gonna throw if going to Alodi and writing your name, welcome to Nepal, blah blah blah, makes you more Nepali, then हो नि त तिमी नेपाली यार, तिमी नेपालकै झण्डा लगाऊ हैन, मेरो देश मेरो गौरव सयथुङ्गा गाऊ. Like, I'm not saying anything, but don't bash other people who are trying the best to do whatever they can, despite being in this country, born in this country, who wants to learn about it. Nationality British boy, but ethnicity the Nepalese on the bro. Like, they're probably born British, they probably have British citizenship and everything. But at the end of the day, they're Nepalese because their ethnic is Nepalese. Don't get confused on that.
Exactly. And citizenship, which by the way has so many controversies around it,
Oh my god.
does not define whether I am a Nepali or not, or how much I love my country, or who I call my country. I consider Nepal my country, but also I consider UK kind of my country because I've lived half my life there, half my life here. Like, you know, you can be two things. You don't have to be categorized into one box.
I think we have major identity crisis because UK ma we are always seen as foreigners. Nepal ma we are always seen as a bairबाट
I would say I used to have an identity crisis. Now I think I had the best from both worlds. You know?
I think I don't necessarily have identity crisis, but when I go Nepal, I do, yeah. Nepal ma they make you feel like shit. कसम यार. Airport देखि घरसम्म. Nepal ma तर Nepal देखि airport देखि घरसम्म till the day you fly back, they make you feel like, because the questions they ask, कहिले आको अनि कहिले जाने. So everything you do is like terminated, yeah. You're only here for a short time. Technically, we are only here for a short time, but everything's like countdown, countdown. You know, your grandparents are counting down till you go and everything. And then you're so habituated to the UK that you miss things in the UK, okay? Like, for instance, I was talking to the Didi and she was like, oh, I miss Goruko Masu. Like, you don't find that in Nepal, like, available this and that. So it's just so...
Please, just say it as it is. Gaiko Masu.
Gaiko Masu, Goruko Masu.
Beef.
It's just bizarre. Like, you miss those things, okay? When I was in, like, it's just still everyday comfort food. Like good croissant, right?
Yeah.
If you go to a supermarket here, you can find a good croissant. But if you go Nepal, it does not hit the same.
Yeah. Hash brown.
Hash brown is laughable, man. Oily the hash brown improve it's American at least. Like at least it's like it's not like obviously UK, but it's like American shredded potato at least. Why it was aludam, bro? Like let's be honest. Mike's breakfast used to be Kathmandu's top tier breakfast place back in those days, you know? They used to sell like potato with like peppers. I'm like, bro, what the heck? This is hash brown, but hash brown is a whole new world. But the point is, we blend in both sides. I know.
Well,
yeah.
Fucking chameleon, mate.
Yeah. So coming to the topic of sensitivity, when we identify as we belong to the birth party equally, people are sensitive about that too. Okay. So the point was the yo, by the way, घुमेर आउनु पर्दाखेरि चाहिँ
नेपाली जसरी घुमेर आउनु ढिलै आउँछ तर कडा आउँछ.
It's like, you know, एउटा हो नि, एउटा हो, एउटा होइन. Like, I had a debate with one of the uncles that, this is many years ago actually. My dad has a wide social, how do I say?
Social circle.
Social circle.
Yeah.
And most frequently, uncle, they would come to drink at our house. And then, obviously, they'd ask you questions in English. So I'm going to reply in English.
Yeah.
Nepali बुझ्दैन यिनीहरु. I'm like, bro, I lived in Nepal 16 years of my life. Are you saying मैले नेपाली बुझ्दैन? It's just
हैन. हामी त दुईटै साइडबाट मासला दुईटै साइडबाट गेडा हान्छ के. नेपाल गयो भने न
मैले त्यही भने नि.
नेपाल गयो भने ए like they treat you as if you're fucking super rich, you have हुन्छ नि UK मा नेपाल रुखमा पैसा टिपेर आएको जस्तो गर्छ. भुका टुरिस्ट के त क्रेडिट कार्डमा बाँचिरहेछ हैन. UK आयो भने नेपाली आउँदैन, तिमीलाई नेपाली बुझ्दैन, तिमीहरु नेपाली भएर. And I'm like, नेपाल गयो भने तिमीहरु विदेशी, यहाँ आयो भने तिमीहरु नेपाली. And I'm like, hello, what am I supposed to do? म सास फेरम कि नफेरम?
We need to make our own land, own community, के border मा बिचमा बिछरेको मान्छेहरु भनेर
एउटा खुट्टा यता गरेर बस्ने के border मा
टाङा गरेर. त्यो मिमोसाको पेजमा नि डेन्जर हुन्छ के. Like bro, तिमी US किन गएको त नेपाली भयो टाइप्सको रिजनले के. He's like घाम ताप्न गयो. It's like, why are you asking silly questions like that?
हैन. नेपालमा भएर नेपालको सिचुएसन थाहा भएर पनि तिमी किन विदेश गएको भनेर सोध्ने मान्छेहरुलाई चाहिँ मलाई अलिकति उस लाग्छ के. हुन्छ नि. Why are you stupid? You know the answer, but you're asking me just to make me feel bad.
Guilty as well. Like, why did you leave the country? You need to come back जसरी के.
अनि भिजा लायो भए उ जान्छ के फर्स्टमा.
DV लायो भने bro. DV लायो भने फर्स्टमै
Bye.
Jobs up, bye.
And it's not wrong. Okay? It's not wrong to go out of the country and basically try and survive and earn money so that you can support your family back home.
Before you're Nepalese, you're a human and you have your own identity.
Survival needs it.
Before you're even anything, you're basically आफ्नो life कसरी comfortable बनाउने हो नि त. As humans, we all do that. Not that why should I be working?
Yeah.
I could literally choose to be homeless and then, literally stay outside and live like my life YOLO and go by if I really wanted to. But we always strive to do the best for ourselves so that it's comfortable for us, at least, if not future generations. So what's wrong with that? If someone else decides to go abroad to study, to study and then settle down and have the family there, and then they see the world on the other side and they're like, oh, you know what, actually, maybe I don't want to come back because of XYZ reasons. As women, we definitely feel safer here than Nepal. Like Nepal, every taxi that I go to, I take a picture, taxi code number, I send it to my friend. So that's just how my mode is.
Exactly.
It's all not the dimak.
Rati, I go for a walk at 3 in the morning.
Exactly, in woods.
Yeah.
And you feel completely safe. The only thing
in the woods, maybe not.
No,
in the woods.
Like we've
woods
been.
It's not the getting attacked that I'm scared about. It's the ghost and the dark that I'm scared of.
No, we've been in the woods as a group, not as a group. We've been in midnight at one point. Thunderstorm this was many years ago. But at night, I feel safe enough to drive anywhere as a woman without locking my car. Whatever you do. But still, because you were brought up in a country like that, the subconscious mind, you're always like, the things you do.
It shapes your habits in
it does
certain ways that you can't unlearn.
Exactly. I remember when I was growing up, we suddenly weren't allowed to go outside all of a sudden again because there was kidnapping in Kathmandu. Wild popular Kathmandu kidnapping. If you're like Alikoti well-off family, you're just getting kidnapped. So the people where I lived, they knew who my granddad was. They knew my dad was Laure. So to average Nepali, that's a bit well-off nita. So scandal, bro.
What is this Laure? I'm sorry. I focused on your hands.
It's just a typical it's just very kidnappable child. Basically. So we were just basically told not to go outside, stranger danger, everything. Which to this day I'm surprised how kids are so friendly, jamina and all that. I'm like, bro, you don't have stranger danger.
Adult boy, the more knowledge you get, you also get good knowledge, you also get bad knowledge. It just makes you more honestly. Talking about comedy, right? In what situation do you think comedians cross lines? For example, Jada or Chris Rocco incident, when he got slapped for talking about her bald head. Do you think that was crossing the line?
Chris Rocco? I absolutely love Chris Rock, not gonna lie. I thought that shit wasn't that serious until Jada sort of, hinted that, okay, this is serious. But I felt like you could have handled that situation better.
Who? Chris Rock?
Chris. Chris, I know. Will Smith. Rather than slapping him.
Yeah.
He could have said, yo, bro, don't joke about my wife. That's a national TV. Man, that would be fine.
Yeah.
So going and slapping an adult on a full-blown national TV like that. Because you have to understand, he went out of the line, I understand that. He's your wife, I understand that sentiment too. But you need to understand the fact that it was a joke. I don't know. I think the situation was just not handled properly. He could have said, he could have shouted, bought a microphone, that's my wife, it's not which he technically did. But to आगो सेलिसकेको नि फेरि इग्नाइट भएर स्ल्याप हाने जस्तो फिलिङ के मलाई चाहिँ. How did you feel about the situation?
मलाई चाहिँ this is what I think, na. I think when you're a comedian, you do get the power of mic once. And Veerdas was saying all about the power of mic is to be able to say what you want to say, and influence people. And if it's done in a comedic way, it's even better, I guess. And he was also talking about the blur lines of where comedy is comedy and where it becomes sinister type, correct? Like he was like, oh, if Trump had a child with a Syrian refugee, then that is such a good comedy material because, you know, the child would be entitled to so many buildings but would still be a refugee. Okay, that's the type of comedy. I just feel like anybody who is comfortable in their skin, in their disability, in whatever the situation that the comedian is making fun of, if they're comfortable in that, then fire away. So if somebody would make fun of my culture and my Nepaliness and it's done in a very good way, then I would have no problem with it. I would laugh about it because I would agree with some of it.
Exactly.
That if, for example, if I didn't like something about me, or if, for example, if I said I was disabled, you know, and I was not there yet to be able to be so comfortable about my own disability that I'm still coping with it, then to make fun of me, then I would say that's crossing the line. You know? So if I was comfortable, and for example, if I was an amputee, and if I was quite happy with my situation now that I've gone through a whole process and healed, and I'm comfortable in a way that I don't mind somebody making a joke. I mean, if a comedian said, oh, your legs don't work like they used to before, then I would laugh about it.
Yeah.
But if I was still fresh off the trauma and I'm still healing, and if somebody would say that, then obviously you heard. I think that's why I say the mic has a lot of power. Yeah, and then
I think the mic has a lot of power. Only it takes two to tango, just like.
Yeah.
So if you're like an amputee, for example, you know, so there was this person who came in Britain's Got Talent. He was basically very disabled, and he was a comedian.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'm a standing comedian, but literally I'm a sit down one because I can't really stand up. This situation, it takes courage for you to laugh as well.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, it's not for them to accept, you know, uski disability on but he's making fun of. But then you as a person, do you laugh or do you not? That's where the sensitivity lies.
Yeah.
So you're just like, ma hasnu ki na hasnu? What is that?
100%.
Exactly. I would laugh about it. I actually genuinely enjoy comedy, so I just laugh. I know. I've been in one too many troubles, like not literally big scandals. Because apparently I don't have boundaries. But that amputee example you gave, on the receiving end, I understand that, like the man said a joke, but if you are the person and you're delivering it, it's funny neither. But the judges are they didn't know they should laugh or not laugh. Like it's just like because he was making jokes like, I'm disabled but I feel sorry for you lot because you are always in the queue, I'm never in the queue. So I'm always pacing. You're always paying full price. I'm never paying full price. I always have the best parking spot in supermarkets. Before I fly off the plane, I'm the last one to get and first one to get off.
Yeah.
It was just hilarious. But the audience didn't know if they should laugh or not because everyone's so pressed and sensitive these days that if you do something wrong, the whole world is watching.
Yeah. And it's also super hard for comedians to do comedy because of that.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what joke is going to
sell,
aggravate someone. And what joke is going to make you get cancelled. It's bichara, like, you know,
jokes is like politics, man. Danger politics, okay? You literally have to float. It's like you're just treading on water. Like dubi, okay, you know.
And it's really bad. I mean, obviously, this Chetri guy, right, who made fun of Newari culture, if he was a person who discriminated Newaris outside his comedy, then obviously that would have a problem with it. But as long as his friends in Newari is like, doing it comedy, I don't think that was crossing the line.
He has said good things as well. Okay? He said like, I love Newari culture. The food is the best. Like they're just amazing. Katie, you're pretty beautiful. I had a Newari girlfriend. He's just saying all the positives as well. But clearly, it's just the negatives that
those
people focus on.
140 people couldn't swallow the truth pill, I guess.
They thought Nepal go government and police, whatever, but I have to applaud. Okay? So many years ago, a celebrity got away with hitting a person 5 a.m., 6 a.m. in the morning. We all know who he, she, it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, she got away with it on blamed it on my depression. And the bro let it get away with it. Because he didn't have the celebrity status, he didn't have the power, he didn't have people who are on the upper class, 0.3% of the rich in Nepal. He didn't have a entitled title of all the...
He probably didn't have enough connections in Nepal to get away with telling those jokes.
Yeah, so...
Or killing people.
Because telling jokes... Make it make sense, man. Again, telling jokes, killing a person. How is that? Only telling a joke which is actually fucking funny, and if not defame gone, but then it's promoting Newari culture and educating people what Newari people they stand for, because that's what your culture is, and you're the richest culture in Nepal, like undeniably, like it is true.
Yeah.
So how is that okay for him to be prisoned, and whereas someone else is just going about and blaming on my depression, I was so depressed I didn't realize, like, whatever, man, crime is a crime. You killed a person, just fucking admit it. Like, be it accident, be it you were drunk or you weren't drunk, like, you still killed a person. Like, how would you live on with that?
It's it's a sensitive world, sensitive for the people who have the power to be sensitive, I guess.
The rich like you can get away with a massacre, man. Like no one is gonna say anything about you.
But if you're a poor family whose mother gets run over by a celebrity's car, then you don't have the power to. You don't have the right to be sensitive.
On the mother,
you don't have the right to go complain.
Give you money, deal with it. And family, take it, because they don't have that,
Because there's no point. They're so beaten up by the system, they don't see the point. For them, the better way off is taking the money, even though their pride doesn't let them.
Because they are devalued anyway. They're the devalued population of like half of the Nepal, half of the India. When I say there's the rich and there's the extreme poor. We have it all in Nepal, like Satchi and the extreme poor, like the extreme rich, you're gone, because your employment is either abroad, and then you're being questioned if you're Nepali or not, or you're either gonna have to be employed by one of the richest, So if you go against them, like, where do you stand? And so, like, they are so rich that it's K-drama vibes. You're not gonna lie. They are so rich that they could actually fucking ruin your life if they wanted to. So sometimes the best way is to just for them. I know.
Basically, moral of the story is
be rich.
Comedy gonna pani, you have to be able to afford the comedy.
You need to have. This is why I've never done it. Because I don't want to be jailed. I can't afford. I don't have rich connections in Nepal or in the UK. I might be deported to Nepal, and UK ko joke banaya Nepal ma, we don't need you here, you don't belong here. One the bro, Alapatra, Dubai ko airport ma. न घर का न घाट का
कहिले जाने हो भोलि 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 भन्दा भन्दा जीवन बित्यो
मैले तिमी त यही छ त एयरपोर्ट So anyhow, hope we are more open-minded and less sensitive about issues that shouldn't need that much sensitivity. If it's in terms of someone's death, someone's illness, etc., we understand that, and there are people who are good triggers or whatever. But why can't we accept things like culturally jokes, or like we accept the food, basically? Khana cha hunere, भन्न चाहिँ नहुने रे पेटले चाहिँ पचाउनु हुने रे मुखमा पचाउन नसक्ने हैन मेबी आज मलाई अलि that's where I'm gonna leave it at before I get jailed. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed our podcast.
I swear to God, imagine one day this podcast gets jailed. Like,
fuck my life, man. So there has been some cases, Nita.
Yeah.
Yesterday. Please.
But, no worries. We'll.
Hopefully, till then we'll have a good legal team.
Not throw your F.
Not your F, and we'll have good financial.
Tara, you can't cancel us because we're not cancelable. Yet we don't have.
I mean,
we're not there yet.
Jail but only call गर्ने पनि BBC लाई phone गर्ने. I want to tell my story. We'll write a book.
हैन मैले भन्नु खोजेको चाहिँ क्यान्सल हुन पनि क्यान्सल हुनुपर्ने सिचुएसन लेभलमा हुनु पर्यो नि त लाइक तिमीहरूले क्यान्सल गरे पनि नगरे पनि हामी यही हो
no effect and if we get there हैन हामी पनि प्रिजनमा लिएर बुक लेखेर think like a prisoner. I love you, Jay, but you know. के थाहा हैन जे नि हुन सक्छ.
End the joke.
All right, bye. See you later.